Good morning, everybody. Today is first day of Clan versus Clan. Um, Today's video will be fairly short. We're going to talk about what are my top 5 nukers for. God, they just rub it in, don't they? What are my top 5 nukers for um, Clan Boss? So let's get in here. Let's get her done. But first, we're going to start off with some rewards. Let's see what we get. Nothing. Nothing. Void, that's nice. And an ancient. It's not horrible, not great. So, I can't wait to get rid of rotation 5 tomorrow. I hate rotation 5 for Hydra. Well, let's go in and finish this off here real quick here. First off, we're going to do our Ultra Nightmare. Let's go with the right team this time. And this should work. There we go. 1 key. Good job. Geo and Seeker are right next to each other. Not bad. And then switch back to the normal team. And let's hit them with a hammer. And there we go. And let's see, that should have given me just a little bit of points. At 2,800 points. That's cool. So we're going to go through my top 5 DPS for Clan Boss. And I want to make sure that I point out this is 100% opinion. It's my opinion, and it may not be the right opinion for everybody, but based on the guys I have, this is not based on overall. This is based on the guys I have, who are my top 5 Clan Boss Nuker. And we start out with number 5. And you look at all these guys, and you're like, oh, that guy would be really good. That guy would be really good. And we just keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down. Our number 5 guy is actually an epic. My number 5 is actually a tie. I hate pulling it out that way. I have 2 of them, and the first one here is Fane. Fane is the ultimate glass cannon. She hits harder than heck. She has a hard time staying on her feet. She's not that sturdy, but But if we go through her skills real quick, you'll see why she is a top 5 nuker. All the multipliers on Fane are high compared to other epics. They're in the top 5% of epics. Not everybody. But the kit that she brings plus the kit that she brings plus the multipliers just makes her a top 5 nuker. So she attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 35% chance of stealing target's turn meter. It doesn't matter on clan boss. I actually like using her in other teams for this next move. Actually, it's the last move. Attacks one enemy, has a 75 up to 100% of placing 2 poison debuffs and a decreased attack for 2 turns. Poison and decreased attack is awesome to put out there. Poison's going to keep them honest with you. Decreased attack is good. You're not going to get damaged as bad. The next one, this is the big one. Remember we did that experiment where I showed you decreased defense and weaken? So on a 4-turn cooldown, we put out decrease and weaken for 3 turns. Guess what? On the clan boss, I'm always got decreased defense and weaken on him. Always. It's 75% chance plus the 25% here. Both of these are 100% chance. And it hits 3 times. The first hit puts on the decreased defense, second hit puts on the weaken, and the third hit heals this champion by 4% of the max HP. To me, the heal is too little too late because she's so easy to knock over. But decreased defense and weaken with high multipliers. Look at this. We're talking about setting up your team to be in a perfect spot, also giving you a poison. This is, to me, a top 5 nuker. The second person that's a top 5 nuker, it's number 5 also, is Farrakhan the Fat. And Farrakhan the Fat, the reason that he's a top 5 nuker. A1, decreased defense. What was the one that made the biggest difference? Decreased defense. It's a 40% chance up to 50%. So it's not going to happen all the time, but you're going to be using your A1 enough that you pretty much always are going to have the decreased defense out on the guy. Brand of Shame puts an HP burn and poison. Oh, that's both of the things that you're looking for. You're looking for burn and poison. His multipliers aren't that good, but he's doing both. That's on a 3-turn cooldown. You're constantly putting that stuff out there. Once again, 75 plus 25, we're looking at a 100% chance of putting both of those out there. And then this one here, ally attack. Everybody attacks except for this guy, but he increases crit rate and crit damage on everybody, and everybody hits the old clan boss except for him, and all that damage goes towards him, or not towards him, but he's getting that damage, makes him a great DPS. It's a 4-turn cooldown. He's doing it enough. This will not work on all teams. Okay? Will not work on all teams. But will work on enough teams to to let him be mentioned in here. If you have anybody who has a speed increase, if you're running the Myth Air team, he's not going to work because the heiress, she puts out increased speed. This here pops the increased speed and causes issues. Okay. I think Ruella has increased speed too, does she not? No, she has decreased speed. But my point is, he's going to work, but he's not going to work on all teams for you. Number 4 is also an epic. And this is somebody that everybody, I think, can agree with. Geomancer. Geo. Holy cow. Decreased accuracy. Don't care about it. Does it hit hard? Not really. Removes all buffs from the enemy target, then attacks. That helps. Once you start getting into affinities, the clan boss tends to put buffs on themselves. This removes them. Steals buffs instead if they're under HP burn. Guess what? They're going to be under HP burn. Why? Quicksand Grasp puts out a weaken and an HP burn, which, remember, the important ones. Weaken was important. HP burn is important. We're putting out the good stuff. But this is where most of his damage comes from. You just watch me. I just used Geo on my team. He's in my team for Spirit. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto an enemy under HP burn. He's always got the clan boss burnt. He's always doing the damage. And we're reflecting everything that you can do onto the clan boss. So he can do enormous amounts of damage. My setup does not use Stone Guard. I'm relying on these 3 moves. But that said, if I started using, instead of using Demitha, I started using, what's his name? Somebody who does unkillable, and I start taking damage, this comes in huge. Because let's say you only have 2 health left. When he hits you, you still take, 10 or 15,000 damage. Even though you only take really 2 damage. And then you get that 15% for here that deflects back. So it works really slick. I've helped many of people get to 2 key Ultra Nightmare with Geo being their only nuker and not having a 3-to-1 team. The next guy is a very, very good guy, among the best in the game. He's hard to get. Not everybody's going to have him, and people are going to complain about this, but it's Ninja. His A1 is goofy. You have to subtract approximately 10 speed from what a normal DPS should be. As I said, it's approximate because it fills this turn meter by 15%. You can make it work, but it's not easy. And it brings decreased defense, which is what the most important one when we did that test a couple days ago. Decreased defense. Hellburn. Attacks 3 times at random. Puts HP burn out. Guess what? You only have the clan boss out. So all 3 of these are going at the clan boss. You're going to put HP burn on the clan boss. And when used against bosses, it instantly activates Hellburn or HP burn. So guess what? It's going to activate it, put it on him. and it includes HP burn buffs placed by this skill. So we're gonna hurt good old clan boss right away, and he's gonna get hurt again after that. And this one here can be skipped, but it does a good amount of damage, so I leave it on. But you can skip it. Attacks all enemies, puts a freeze. You can't freeze clan boss. When attacking boss, it will only attack the boss, not the enemies, or not all enemies. So if you're attacking spider, it'll only hit the spider, not the spiderlings. But this is pretty cool. All three hit hard. All three hit well. The only thing you have to remember, decrease your speed by a little bit because it also fills his turn meter by 15%. So now we're down to the top two. And I am extremely, extremely fortunate. I have a Krisia. She's number 2. She has a unique setup where I'm going to go to her passive first. Decreases the damage taken from AoE attacks by 50%. All the clan boss attacks, except for the stun, are AoE attacks. She's going to survive. On turn 50, you're going to have somebody standing up still. It's this young lady. But the second part of this is important. If the target's max HP is more than double this champion's max HP, which clan boss it's going to be, this champion will deal damage based on its max HP instead of attack. So, max HP. Her A1 starts out pretty weak, believe it or not. But the damage on this increases by 10% every time the skill is used and stacks up to 100%. And it's a decreased defense. Remember the most important one, decreased defense. She is putting a licking on the clan boss. And by turn, I figured out by turn 5, she is using 100%. This one here hits hard. Super, super hard. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Obviously, there's only one. Places a shield on this champion for 2 turns, which is nice. And, but that enemy max HP, hitting hard. This one here is super effective on Hydra and other ones, but this guy here isn't so good against a clan boss. Attacks one enemy 2 times, has an 80% chance of stealing 100% of the turn meter. Make that 100% chance. This effect cannot be resisted if the target has higher max HP than this champion. It doesn't work against the clan boss because clan boss is immune to turn meter stuff, but this works great in just about all the bosses. This is awesome in Fire Knight. This is awesome in Spider. This is awesome in all the Doom Towers. I mean, I have it set where most of my Doom Towers have a Krisia in it, and I don't even need to worry about the Doom Tower guy taking a turn. But once again, max HP. I have my HP maxed out as much as I can on her. I have her attack maxed out as much as I can so she can help with waves. But for the most part, she's there for that enemy max HP. And she does a ton of damage. Well, for Krisia's number 2, who the heck can be number 1? I tell you what, it wasn't an easy choice, but it's Newt. And here's why. I also use Newt. I use Newt and Krisia on just about all the bosses. They just together are just such a fantastic team. Newt has a no holding back. It deals 100% on counterattacks instead of 75%, which is really good because his A2 does a counterattack. It does weaken. It does decrease attack. You're setting up the clan boss or anybody to be weaker and then get hit harder, and allows you to counterattack. I've always got weakened out on the clan boss because of Newt. It's 3-turn cooldown. I'm doing a 3-to-1 team. Every turn, guess who's getting weakened? Even though it's for 2 turns, he's always sitting at 2 weakens. A1 hits the enemy 3 times, has an 80% chance of stealing the turn meter. Obviously, that's not going to work against clan boss once again because clan boss is immune. Each has an 80% chance of placing a freeze. Guess what? We're not going to freeze anybody with this, but this does help with the wave clear on a lot of levels. Both of these, they're based on defense, not the greatest skills in the world. This is the one. Blessed Bash. It attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit decreases the target's defense by 3 times, stacking up to 30%. Okay, so against the clan boss, we're taking away 30% of his defense. Then you use somebody with the blessing of cruelty. You're lowering it even more. You're getting to the point to where the clan boss pretty much has no defense at all against you. And you're hitting hard. You're hitting hard. I'm not... All 3 together is greater than 1,000,000 damage per hit for my setup. I don't have great gear like everybody else. I know I've seen Hell Hades and some of the other guys use Newt and hit 1,000,000 per shot, making this 3 million total instead of just 1,000,000. The other thing is, because this is a 3-turn guy, Brimstone, even at level 1, or now I'm up to level 2, but even at 1-star Brimstone, you are pretty insured to put out that 15% chance of smite. I'm attacking 3 times. I'm probably putting out 7 attacks in 1 turn. 7 on 15% chance of smite. It's not perfect, but it's damn close to 50%, or damn close to 100% every round I'm putting smite out. So smite, it just increases all that damage all the more. Could I put smite on a Krisia? Yeah, I could. Will it do the same amount of damage? Not even close. Not even close. Newt is the guy that puts out the most damage for my team. So, number 1, Newt. And you probably guessed that from the picture that I put out because I have Newt on the thumbnail. I'm using thumbnails now, can you believe that? But this is Leon from Setter's Raid. As I said, it's going to be a fairly short one today. Top 5 nukers. Tomorrow, I'm going to run through what I do on a average day for clan versus clan, just so you get a chance to see clan versus clan. And then what I think we're going to try to do top... I'm thinking, I haven't said it's going to happen, but I was thinking doing an entire series on clan boss, top 5 supports, top 5 top 5 unkillable slash block defense guys. Just a couple more. I'm gonna go back to the champions. A couple of guys that have I would put out here as honorable mentions for DPS. One is Razzlevarg. Razzlevarg hits a ton. He gets that your team up to speed. He can replace Seeker and Demith can't even think of his name now. He can replace some of those guys. Figuring out the speeds is a little tricky with him, but that said, he really is a really good nuker, and he does more than one job. Speed control. Top 5 speed controls will be the next one for Clan Boss. One that is a surprising nuker is Helicath. You're like, what? When I run my 2-to-1 team, I use Helicath and Warcaster. And Helicath, no exaggerations, is up there 2/3, if not 3/4 of the way to the damage that my DPSs are doing. So I'm running a Krisia Newt, and Helicath is 2/3 the value of those guys. And the reason that Helicath does so well is, I believe it's a Bet Blessing. He counterattacks with his default skill when an ally is hit under block damage. Well, every time the clan boss hits, Helicath is hitting because everybody has block damage on him. I have him at Brimstone right now, but I would change him. I would probably run him Crushing Rend if I had a 4 or 5-star or higher, because that does a little bit more for us. I may put him in Phantom Touch, because Phantom Touch would also increase the damage. I do need to get him up one more level at a minimum to get that defense up a little bit more. But anyways, honorable mention number 2 is definitely Helicath. Helicath is among the best DPS that you just don't think about. It just happens because of all the extra hits. And another one is, people are going to be mad at me for not mentioning this over Fane, and I probably should put a Mishinaki in there. But Mishinaki and his passive, whenever an ally attacks while the enemy's under Hex, which enemy's always going to be under Hex with Mishinaki, this champion has a 50-50 chance to do an ally attack. The reason that Mishinaki is not my top 5 is because it's an ally attack, and guess what happens? His speed meter goes off, because if you have speed on your team, so about half the teams I have, Mishinaki can't be on that team because he gets out of tune because of the ally attack. The only reason he's not on the team or on the top 5 is because of that passive. But that passive also makes him so when you put him on my 2-to-1 team, he's hitting like a freaking tank, because he's not only getting his shots off, which are really good, he's also adding to everybody else's attacks. When I say everybody else's, I mean everybody else's attack. Artak's putting out burns and then activating them. He increases the burns and activates them. Good God, Artak is hitting and collecting tons and tons and tons of damage. And it's not because of his multipliers. It's just straight up damage. And I think that, oh, one more, and I forgot this guy. This guy should definitely be in the top 5. It should be in the place of Ninja, you idiot Leon. Ninja is the honorable mention. This guy is number 3. Gishnek Verman Lord. He is hitting super hard. He's putting out bombs, and his passive turns 1 bomb into 2 poisons. And they're protected, so he can't wipe them off. Bombs. Decrease attack. Bombs. So he's constantly putting bombs out. And the problem with Verman Lord is he puts so many poisons out, it clogs everything up, so you can't get the weaken out there. You can't get the decreased defense out there. That said, he's hitting hard. He's hitting so hard. His multipliers are huge. The bombs go off. They're huge. And then it sets up multiple poisons. You're placing 2 bombs. You go into this move, which activates the bombs, decreasing the timer from 2 to 1. Then when the clan boss goes off, he blows up the bombs, puts 4 poisons on himself. We come back around. We're going to put a chance of up to 3 bombs on him. And then we're going to put another 2 bombs on him and put it back. Guess what? Now we're going to put, let's say on the A1, we're going to put 2 bombs on, plus 2 bombs. We're going to blow up. We're going to put 8 poisons out there. Guess what? I'm out of space. So, he does a ton of damage. He's a good one for Phantom Touch. Once again, his big problem is gives himself an extra turn. The extra turn puts off the speed boost, which throws a lot of my teams into disarray. Hence, he's not being used right now. But he is definitely a really solid guy. And then I should mention wrathwol. He's brand new. He's free. He does the decreased defense. Every second use of this in a round will attack all enemies instead, which doesn't matter. If the target is a boss, it will ignore 100% of their defense. Ignore 100% of the defense. We're talking about a nuke here. It places increased damage, crit damage, increased speed on this champion for 2 turns. So you need to be careful with the increased speed, hence he doesn't make the top 5. And then here, he inflicts 50% more damage on people under HP burn. Guess what? He's going to be paired with Geo. Receives 25% damage because of people under that. And every 5th skill deals 200% more damage. So he's doing a ton of damage. The only problem is he's placing an increased speed. So you got to make sure that you're placing him at a decent place. But that is my honorable mentions. My number 1 never going to change. Not never going to change. My number 1 is Newt. Krisia is very close second. Very, very, very close second. And then the gap between those 2 and the rest of the guys for clan boss is pretty enormous. Grand Canyon size difference there. But thank you very much. This is Leon from Setter's Raid, better known as Setters to my clanmates. I'll talk to you later.